Finally here, the first of two college football playoff semifinals, Notre Dame and Penn State in the Orange Bowl. Mark, Zinno, and I have a best bet for you in that game coming up. Mark, we need to do better today after yesterday. Some rough calls. The very underrated 90s band Guided by Voices, who I'm sure maybe one person in the comment section knows, had a song called What Goes Up Must Come Down, and that describes our last 2 days here on the program.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster. 0-3, 3-0, 0-3. Tick-tock on the clock and doesn't stop all night, and you know the rest of it. Anyway, that was not fun. And oh, by the way, other than Arkansas just sucking. Ugh.
I had 3 people, you included, simultaneously texting me about how much they hated Arkansas and swearing they would never bet Coach Cal again as long as they live.
I mean, like, for the people who are subscribers, because I don't have clients, if you bought my package, Arkansas was part of it yesterday, and I got the other 2 games I played right in college hoops, so I went 2-1 there, including the late night D-Gen special of Cal. But literally, I've seen Muslim terrorists shoot better than Arkansas did last night.
I know you're allowed. You are allowed to say that.
I have seen better shooting, more accurate shooting from those people than I saw from the Arkansas Razorbacks last night. That was disgusting. That was terrible.
Okay. It was not good. It was not good. But
Lord, like they were chucking. They look like Philip Seymour Hoffman in Along Came Polly. White chocolate, rain dance. Clank, clank, clank. It's like a Masons convention. Jesus.
I don't even know what to say to that. So we will go from yesterday to today. Before we do our best bet on the Orange Bowl, and that is coming up, and in true morning wager fashion, we are getting a little exotic on you with this best bet. But we got a couple college basketball games to break down. Mark and I have both isolated one game we like. I split my college basketball plays for my subscribers, clients, call what you will. You
can subscribe to the page.
Okay? You can subscribe to the page.
Picks. You're only a client, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm routinely paying you for a service.
Well, there are some people who do that with me, okay? And they got villain. Okay, fine. Whatever. If you had my picks last night, is that okay?
There you go.
You got Villanova, who held on, even though the refs tried giving the game to UConn. That was good. USC, though, man, they fell apart in the second half. That stunk. Anyway, Mark Zinno, let's stay in the Big Ten for you, okay? Obviously, USC last night, they traveled across the country to Indiana. Did not get the job done for me. Tonight, this cross-country travel, it's going to be a big talking point, I think, all season long in the Big Ten with conference expansion. Washington, a team who, when was that last week we gave out Washington plus the – it was last Thursday. It was exactly
against
1
Maryland,
week ago. Yeah. Last Thursday, we said Washington plus the points at home against Maryland was the right side. They won that game outright. Now the Huskies leave the Pacific time zone. They are going to face Michigan State, one of the better teams in the Big Ten. I have said nothing wrong, so you should not be complaining, okay?
No,
and
just like
you are giving us a play.
You're stealing all my thunder. You're stealing it all. Don't steal it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay?
I'm sorry. I apologize. Please speak.
This is my play. Okay, I got this.
Okay,
just tee it up and let me hit it down the fairway. No, I'm kidding. You're right. We did play Washington last week and Denny Sprinkle's Huskies. Interesting to note. You talked about that travel and go back to last night when I had the late night play on Cal, because it was Virginia going all the way out to Cal for the first time since 2016, and it was okay. Here we go. This travel is going to start to affect these teams. Take note here, kiddies. Not only is Washington playing just their 3rd true road game of the year, which they have lost their 2 previous true road games to UCLA and to Nevada. They are leaving the Pacific time zone for the first time this year. The lone neutral site tournament thing they played in was out in California. So they have not left the Pacific time zone yet. They're on a plane. This is after getting their butts beat by Illinois at home. They're going to Michigan State. And the Spartans are laying a fat number. One that is just, God, I can't even stomach it. It's at 14.5. It was at 13.5 last time when I called Bryan Power. I'm like, ooh, it's big number here, but I still kind of like this game. And so now it's at 14.5, which makes the spread from our perspective here on the morning wager pretty much unbettable. Because as Brian Power told me, since he's been doing this professionally, he might have laid 14.5 points in a conference basketball game just once. I don't even think it was that much. But when you dive inside the matchup here, okay, Michigan State is just flat out better by a wide margin. The spread is kind of justified here, right? You're talking about a Michigan State offense that's 35th in KenPom, right? They have a huge rebounding advantage on the glass. They have 23rd in offensive rebounds. They're a bigger team than Washington on all accounts. They are 5th in free throw shooting in the nation. They're 33rd in two-point field goal percentage shooting. They dominate inside. The one thing Washington's defense does well is defend the three. They're 5th in the nation in three-point field goal percentage defense. Michigan State doesn't shoot threes. They don't take them that much. They don't make them that much, but they don't take them that much. It's not their style. They play inside. So you look at this Michigan State defense that's 12th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency. They're 17th on the offensive rebound glass. It means that they're the 17th fewest offensive rebounds allowed in the country. They defend the perimeter well. 29% from around the perimeter on three-point shooting. Like, this is just a better team from top to bottom. I say all this to say the other thing here is why we're looking at, you're not laying 14. We're going to look at the Michigan State team total over 80 here. Michigan State at home this year has scored at least 80 points in every single home game this year. And so this is where they're better. This is where they're comfortable. My best hope for this game here is that Washington actually is somewhat effective on offense and they can push Michigan State to keep scoring. The way this doesn't happen is Michigan State's defense shows out, Washington State can't score, and the pace just dies, right? That's how we don't go over here. But I think Washington is good enough to be able to push them a little bit and force Michigan to get over this 80.5. Michigan State team total over 80.5 for my half of the double play.
Just imagine if Sparty starts hitting those threes, Zinno. I mean, it's really impressive that they're averaging what they are despite the low volume of threes. To your point, I tried fading Michigan State last Friday in Columbus against Ohio State. And even though Michigan State was, I think, 3 of 18 for 3, they still won that game going away. So, yeah, those threes start falling. I think Tom Izzo is going to like what he's seeing at the offensive end from his troops. So, yes, that is Mark Zinno's half of the double play. Michigan State team total over 80.5. Smash that like button if you are rolling with him. I'm going a little deeper on the card. Well, actually, I shouldn't say deeper because it's the first game in rotation order. This is a way, Mark, put a little money into people's pockets before the Orange Bowl even tips off. Hopefully. That was one thing that caught my eye. I'll go over a few other things that caught my eye here in just a moment on UNC Greensboro at Chattanooga as we go to the SoCon. Now, credit where credit is due. Our good friend Aaron Kidd, his friends call him AK, he pointed me in the direction of this game when he brought it up initially. I was like, okay, it sounds fun, good, whatever. Then I started looking at it a little bit more. I said, by God, this man may be onto something, Mark. Chattanooga came into the season projected to be one of the top contenders in the SoCon. So far, they have not looked the part. Mox coming to tonight, 9-6 straight up, and they have a couple bad losses. By 18 to Lipscomb, and more recently, they dropped an overtime game at Mercer in the conference opener. Now, that being said, tonight, Chattanooga's first home game in quite some time. December 18th was the last time they played at home, and it was against a non-D1 school. 5 of Chattanooga's 6 losses this year have been on the road. They played 3 straight on the road, not just the first 2 in conference play, but they were also at Indiana, who I learned the hard way is a pretty good basketball team. I learned that last night, as I mentioned earlier. But tonight, again, Chattanooga's back at home, first home game in conference play. They did just handle their business after losing to Mercer in overtime. They won at the Citadel as 12-point favorites covered the number last time out. Now, breaking this game down, what really sticks out to me is 3-point variance. Chattanooga's opponent tonight, UNC Greensboro, number 1 in the SoCon in both 3-point percentage for and 3-point percentage against. Call me crazy. Long term, I don't think you can continue to shoot 14% better than your opponents from behind the arc. Just don't think it's going to happen. And Chattanooga is due for some positive 3-point variance as well, because when they lost to Mercer, they got burned by the Bears shooting 50% from behind the arc, 15 for 30. And you look at these two teams' statistical profiles, Mark, this doesn't make a lot of sense, what we're seeing from 3-point land, okay? UNC Greensboro gives up a lot of open looks. Chattanooga does not. So you take all that in consideration, the fact that this number is on the move, okay? When I slacked it over before the show was at 3.5. Now it's pretty much up to 4 across the board. I'd still lay it with Chattanooga. I think this is a good get-right spot for the Mocs tonight in their first conference home game against UNC Greensboro. So I will be taking the 4-point favorite in this one. Shop around. Maybe you can still get a 3.5 with Chattanooga. There you see on the screen, WT.buzz/BP. I've got 3 plays for the Orange Bowl tonight. Notre Dame and Penn State. I'm playing the side. I got 2 props as well. Mark Zinno, what do you have going on the Orange Bowl before we give the people, a free play on the game?
Yeah, I've been on a little bit of a hot run here in college hoops. So we'll get a college hoops up play for tonight, as well as a play in the Orange Bowl game, WT.buzz/MZ. You know where to go to be a subscriber, not a client. I don't have clients.
Okay.
I'm not a lawyer.
Okay.
Nor am I.
All right.
The other guy. You know.
I don't even. Yeah, I know. People were laughing about it. People reached out to me laughing about that joke you told. I thought it was wildly inappropriate, personally. But
listen, wildly inappropriate jokes are funny. You want to hear more?
No. Well, let's save that. Okay, we still have to get to this best bet.
What did one saggy boob say to the other?
Please tell me.
We better get it together. People are thinking we're nuts.
Oh, hey. Oh, boy. Please follow him at Mark Zinno on X. Yes, I get. Yes. All right, there you go.
I saw that on the internet yesterday. It made me laugh.
I'll upset Mark right now by pointing out that I'm on a 17-5 all sports run, 7-1 the last 4 days. There you go. I love getting that eye roll every show. All right, Orange Bowl. Let's break it down. Notre Dame, Penn State.
At least Mark, you were quick about it this time.
Yes, I think it's fair to say both these teams should feel a little fortunate to be in the college football playoff semifinals, right? Penn State had the easiest path to get here. They beat SMU. They beat Boise State. They were combined +5 in turnovers in that game, those 2 games. Notre Dame, they were more impressive than the final score showed against Indiana. I think that's fair to say. But against Georgia, they were outgained. And I don't know how impressive that defensive performance was, considering they were facing a backup quarterback. Also, let's be honest, Notre Dame's 2 touchdowns in that game came on a very short field. They recovered a fumble right before half inside the 10, and then they returned the opening kickoff in the second half for a touchdown. But here we are. 2 teams. One of them's going to the championship game. The other one goes home. You and I kind of have different outlooks on this game, truth be told. If you are a client, subscriber, someone who just wants to purchase our picks. But we have come together to go to the player prop market. And we believe if Penn State is to have a chance in this game, they need to hit some explosive passes. Drew Aller, I couldn't believe this, had only 13 completions against Boise State. I guess he didn't need to have too many because they were a bigger team. They could run the ball, but they're not going to get away with that against Notre Dame. How are we attacking this one, Mark? Enlighten the people.
Well, we're going to look to the player prop market here. And Drew Aller, with his longest completion of over 36.5 yards. I mean, look, they have the far better quarterback in this game. I don't think that's debatable. Drew Aller is better than Riley Leonard. And yes, the Penn State passing game is better than the Notre Dame passing game. Notre Dame's strength is stopping the run. If Penn State would like to open up some run lanes, they're going to have to start to take some shots down the field early in the game to be able to create some openings. And they're going to have to hit them. I mean, that's the other part. They're going to have to connect on them. They have the biggest mismatch with Tyler Warren on the field. Penn State's tight end, incredibly tough to cover. And he's a guy that is, in the yak world, right? Yakety yak. Don't talk back. Yards after catch.
Yes.
So he's a great candidate for this to happen. But I believe that Penn State will take some shots down the field to try to loosen up the Notre Dame defense. If they hit them and the game script works that Penn State gets out to a lead, the running lanes are going to be open after the fact because Drew Aller clearly is going to be able to be a threat down the field. So we're going to look to Drew Aller to go over 36.5 for his longest completion. Of course, again, you got guys like Singleton and what's the other guy's name again, BP? Who's the other running back? Why am I forgetting it? Help me out here. The other running back for Penn State. Come on, today, Junior.
Tyler Ward. I'm sorry, you caught me off. You said Singleton, and who's the other one?
Singleton, Katron Allen. Katron Allen.
Yes, Katron Allen. I'm sorry. I had Tyler Warren stuck in my head. I'm sorry, and I knew that wasn't right.
both of these guys as pass catching backs could take off on a long run too as well.
Mhm.
There's a lot of opportunities here. But again, I definitely think that Penn State's going to have to use the passing game to open up some run lanes. So Drew Aller over 36.5 yards for longest completion for the show best bet.
There you go. Let's get a little exotic. Sprinkle something on top. And if you're looking for the side tonight, you can go to Mark Zinno. You can go to my page as well. Also, Mark, of course, got the Cotton Bowl tomorrow between Ohio State and Texas. We'll be talking about that. But you know what else we're going to be having to talk about is the NFL playoffs Super Wild Card Weekend. Is almost upon us. Yes, they call it Super Wild Card Weekend because they expanded the playoffs a couple years ago. We now have 6 games instead of 4, spread out over 3 days.
Oh, they called it Super Wild Card Weekend because they added Monday.
That's what I said. They added another day. Yes,
well, they put the game on
2 other games.
They didn't need to add. They didn't need to add another day. They could have done 3 on Saturday and 3 on Sunday. We happen to have more than 3 football games on Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, I know. I got you. All right, fine. You win. Okay, you happy? What I was trying to get to, sir, is we have a tremendous playoff special going on right now at WagerTalk.com, where you can get the. Yes, we went over it yesterday. I don't know if you were paying attention or not at that point, but there it is, the NFL playoff special.
I start tuning out. I do other things.
Well, take notes here, okay? Because for a limited time, you can grab all of your favorite handicappers playoff picks for only $149. Just make sure you use the coupon code playoffs at checkout. That will give you your 25%
I remember saying that yesterday.
savings. Thank you. I'm glad you're paying attention. I rewatched the show yesterday. By the way, despite the fact that we got the picks wrong, I thought it was a fun show. I thought we had good chemistry yesterday. It was
usually what people tune into this show, like except for our commenter Joe Campbell, who likes to he fades our picks and he likes to think he's getting under my skin, and then he used some Italian slang words that he didn't spell correctly, so I didn't know what they were. But anyway, we like the comment sections. Who was the guy? The one guy commented yesterday. I just like to read the comments to see who Zinno's commenting about.
I did. I got a chuckle out of that. I didn't think there was anyone who annoyed you. But yes, I saw you were, you were coming together with some of the commenters. You were really, it seemed like some friendships were being born in the comment section yesterday.
Most of it was taking shots at you, which is a unifying force.
And I caught those, and I didn't appreciate that for the record. Okay?
I know.
Please comment down below, though, with your thoughts on the Orange Bowl, your thoughts in college basketball, your thoughts on what Mark and I had to say today. Just please, guys.
And I'll tell you this much.
So kind.
Make sure you tune in tomorrow so BP and I can argue about the results of the Orange Bowl.
Yes. That is true. All right, everybody. Until next time, let's catch the tickets.